And that, my friends, is the makeup that I wore to high school. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And I had no issues with it. Granted, I went to high school in a different country. I went to high school in Jamaica, and it was 20 years ago that I started high school. Yeah, over 20 years actually, because I started high school at 12, so 21 years ago. Whew, 95, I remember it. Ah, such a simple time. And I don't know, like, the experience that I see high schoolers having now versus when I went to high school, it baffles me. I'm just like, what? And the 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds wearing a full face of makeup, I'm just like, where are you going? Where are you going? So here's the thing. I went to high school in Jamaica, like I said. I went to Wilma's High School for girls, right? And we had rules and regulations. It was an all-girls school, and we wore a uniform. And I'll show you my uniform. It looked like a maternity dress. It was sky blue with a white blouse underneath, and it was formless, it was shapeless. We looked like nuns going to school. Now, a lot of girls went ahead and took in the size and, you know, brought up the hem so it was a little shorter and a little nipped in at the waist. And you weren't allowed to do that. You weren't supposed to do that. First of all, the uniform needed to be below your knees. So it needed to be long and it needed to be straight, not sucked in at the waist or anything. And yeah, needless to say, we didn't look that attractive. And I was okay with that, because here's the thing. I was going to school to learn. I wasn't going to school to attract anybody. So the whole, you know, dolling up wasn't for me. And to add to that, you weren't allowed to wear makeup. You were not supposed to wear makeup. You weren't supposed to wear mascara. You weren't supposed to do any lipstick, nothing at all on your face. Your face was supposed to be completely bare. Your earrings were supposed to be little tiny knobs, so little studs like this, or very small hoops. So the hoop size was very specific, so it had to be a certain size, and that was it. And you could only wear the earrings in one hole, so that was it. That's the only jewelry you were allowed, apart from like a little wristwatch, and that was it. No necklace, no rings, none of that. That's what you were supposed to wear. And to add insult to injury, we had to wear a slip. Do you know what a slip is? I don't think you guys understand what a slip is. You know that granny slip that these old women wear under their dresses and skirts to church? That's what we had to wear under our skirts. Mind you, Jamaica is like 90 degrees every day, so we were hot. Had the black slip, it had to be black, and you had to wear it every day. Listen, it was a hot mess. But it was good in that we wore a uniform, everybody looked the same, everything was just structured. It wasn't a competition. People weren't competing to look better than the next one or wear this brand name shirt or these shoes. You had to wear Jordans or the latest fashion. It was a uniform. You wore it every day. And the shoes, they had to be black shoes, and the heel height. So mind you, this is in the 90s when you had the really thick chunky heels, and your heel height could not be higher than 3 inches. Now, I pushed it a lot because back then you had the big chunky heels. Me and my friends pushed it. We wore like 3.5 inch, and I don't know where we were going in 3.5 inch heels. Mind you, they were platform and they were clunky, but I had to walk like a mile a day to and from school to the bus stop. So where was I going in 3.5 inch heels? But we made it. I'm surprised my feet didn't hurt more. Did they? I don't know. And we had to bring our backpacks, and your backpacks had all your textbooks and stuff. Listen, and it's hot. And the only thing we did, I'll tell you this. At lunchtime and after school, we would wash our faces to make our skin look cool and nice and refreshed, because we have oily skin. Like the majority, I don't know, is that true? The majority of us had oily skin, or we would be shiny and greasy and sweaty by lunchtime anyway. So we would wash our faces so it would have that smooth matte look to our skin at lunchtime, and then after school before we left to go to the bus station, because we needed to look fresh and ready. And I had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. every morning to get to school, because my school was an hour and a half from home. So I had to take the bus, if I took the bus, it was like 2 hours, so I had to leave at 5 o'clock or 5:30 to get to school for 7:30. So, and we had to be at school in time for devotion, which is where we said our prayers and we sang some songs and got the day started. Yes, we had that at, what was it, 7:30 or 7:45? We had that, and then class started at 8 o'clock. This is what we did, and I'm very thankful for that, and I'm happy that I grew up like that, and I'm happy that I had my high school experience like that, because there was no, I guess it's different now, and I feel bad for the kids nowadays, especially here in the United States. It's probably still similar in Jamaica right now and in the West Indies, where they still wear uniforms, they still have rules and regulations about what you can and cannot wear, and you definitely don't wear makeup. Now, no, don't get me wrong, there were girls who were just fast asses that still wore some makeup. They wear powder to mattify their skin, they wore mascara and eyeliner, just like under waterline, dark eyeliner, and then they would do their brows, and then they would wear a little bit of tinted lip gloss. So it wasn't like just lip balm, they would wear tinted lip gloss. I don't know where they was going, but they was doing it, and they probably did it after school. So when they went to the bus stop, that's where we got our social interaction on, because again, I went to an all-girls school. There are no boys there, and you know in high school it's all about boys and girls and relationships, and oh my god. And so them dress up after school, forgot look for the boy, them, you know all them stare. But for me, I wasn't interested in boys in high school. I was focused on school because, listen, I need to get good grades. I'm not gonna embarrass my mother, so therefore let me get my stuff done. And I was in the A stream, so I was that nerd that was doing the most. I was on the honor roll, like I was one of those people. But again, I didn't experience like bullying and the sort of stuff that goes on now in high school and even in junior high. And I started high school at 12, so I think you guys here in the States, that's junior high for you, and then you start what, high school in 9th grade, which would, yeah. So we started at 7th grade and you guys started at 9th grade for high school. So it's 7th to 11th, that's our high school. And then there are 2 more years after that, that's 6th form that I also did. So that's how our high school system was. So I graduated high school technically at 16, and then we did 2 more years of 6th form before I came here and went to college. But I don't know how these kids are coping with social media and the bullying, and it's terrible. And I never experienced bullying at all. Like, I didn't even really see it. Like, we would tease people and tease each other, and maybe that could be seen as bullying. Like, did people really get, I don't know, like I was so, maybe I was just so like oblivious to everything, but I never saw like people really getting bullied to the extent that I hear about now in the media. And I just don't get it. Like, people are forced to get homeschooled because they're so bullied, and I'm like, did that happen? Did that happen? Because I know there were fights, I know people would get all crazy, and it was mostly about girls. It's either girls fighting over boys or boys fighting over girls or getting involved in some foolishness. And listen, no high school boy not gonna have me like full of fight, no girl for them, so therefore I was not in no fight. Ooh, Valerie one good girl picnic? No, not me, darling. No, not me. So I don't know, I just feel for the kids these days that they have so much pressure. They have to wear the latest thing or they're gonna get teased. They have to wear makeup or they're gonna get teased. If they have acne, they're gonna get teased. If their hair isn't just so, they get teased. And it's like, whew, how do you deal with all of that? And your minds are so young and you're impressionable and you want to fit in, and you know there's peer pressure, and I just don't know how you guys deal with it. I'm wishing you all the best. If you're being bullied, please speak out, speak to somebody about it, let it be known. Don't just sit there and take it. Try to speak out and speak up for yourself and let people know, let adults know, and let the school know, let the principal know, let teachers know. It, you know, things are going on. Like, don't just sit around and take it. Stand up for yourself too, but be careful too when standing up for yourself, because you don't want to get hurt in the meantime. So just be careful, and don't ever feel obligated to wear makeup because everybody else is wearing makeup, because you really don't. And at that age, to me it was more about being a kid and enjoying childhood and enjoying my friends and having a good time being a kid without responsibilities. Like, I could just have fun, do my schoolwork, do my homework, have fun, play with my friends. interact with my friends, you know, laugh and giggle and not have to worry about the adult things such as boyfriends and makeup. And I didn't worry about that. You know what I mean? And I hope you guys don't worry about that this school year. Just enjoy high school. Enjoy it for what it's worth. I had the best time in high school. I loved high school. I made my best friends in high school and I still am friends with them to this day. And high school was a great time for me. So try to make the best of it. Try to enjoy it. And again, speak up if you are being bullied or if anyone's pressuring you into anything. Don't feel obligated to follow the crowd. Don't feel obligated to yield to peer pressure. I was a nerd. I never got teased. I was still one of the cool kids at the same time. So, you know, find your way. Hopefully you guys have a great school year and I will talk to you soon.